Next on deck with Tim Black.
I've been to so many track meets, but never have I thought somebody would literally stab another kid over sitting in the tent. There's no justification for it, but this explanation, I got to hear. You just got heated. Maybe the boy was getting the best of you. You didn't want to take the L. I don't know. And you killed a kid. Oh, I'm trying not to cry on camera just because.
I want to thank this situation for coming to light. I want to thank those people who have come out and spoken out, who've spoken up on behalf of Karmelo Anthony. We don't know where this is going to go. We don't even know if there are going to be other details that come out that contradict things, that change the reality of what's possible, right? We don't know that. And I'm open to that happening. Because at the end, all I want is justice. That's it. But I'm seeing one side of this equation not be reasonable at all. Yeah, man. You should raise your children that if someone asks them to leave them alone, they do. And someone says, do not put your hands on me, they listen. That's kind of basic. For some reason, and I get it. Once again, guys, I get it, man. Dad is grieving. Mom is grieving. But how well was your child raised if your child don't hear so good? That when somebody says, keep your hands to yourself, you know, comprende. To me, that signals we got a young man who has an arrogance with him. Not only does he think he's invincible, he doesn't think he has to listen to certain people. Now, I don't know if he doesn't listen to the cops or if he doesn't listen to authority figures, but it damn sure looks like he doesn't listen to this black young man, Pierce, because he could have, and none of this happens. None of this happens. None of this happens. But once again, I am glad that this is coming out. It's unfortunate it has to come out in this way. But it's good for us to see. Black America is good for us to see because we got the horrible Democratic Party doing what it does. And we got a lot of black people that are waking up to it. But I need black people to look across and see those Republicans, see those conservative Republicans that are what they're saying about you right now. Because they're saying it about Karmelo Anthony, but they don't know him. All they see is blackness. That's all they see. Of Karmelo Anthony, his name was Cody. If his name was Cody Davis, Cody Bartholomew, Cody McConaughey, and he was blonde-haired and blue-eyed, and he had told this football player to not touch him and to get his hands off of him, it wouldn't be a whole lot of talk about how evil he is and how unraised, untrained he is and how he's a menace because he struck back at a bigger guy who wouldn't keep his damn hands to himself. It'd be a whole different story, wouldn't it? But instead, we have these phony, fake jackasses on the conservative side condemning Black America. And I got sellout, bootlicking Black people with all this type of advice of what Black people need to do better. They are cowards. They're afraid to say what white Americans need to do better, like raise their kids to keep their damn hands to themselves. You don't own everything in the country just because you're white. You don't own us. You don't own that young man. You're not the authority here. You're just another human being. There's things that could be said to them. But see, these cowardly conservatives won't say it. These black cowardly conservatives won't tell the other white conservatives the truth. But instead, they'll look at the black kid and have all this advice on what Black America need to do. Oh, you should hear them, guys. You should hear the nonstop advice that the Charleston White Brigade is giving. Oh, they got so much to say. And so people should listen to him. A killer, a co-conspirating killer and a jackass and a clown playing a role on the internet. That's what we got to listen to for advice. That's what we doing. An admitted clown pretending to be something. Is that how bad it is? We let people like Charleston White dictate to us what black people need to do, what black people, how we need to act. I wish this didn't happen because I authentically wish it hadn't happened. But I try to take everything that happens in my life and see what good can come out of it. And one of the good things that could come out of it is Black Americans. Don't go running over there to those Republicans. Listen to them. Look at what's coming out of their mouths. Look at what they're saying. They can be saying that about your son, your daughter, you, your wife. Look at them. Listen to them. They know nothing about him. Listen to the way they're talking. All of a sudden, our buddies, our friendly white friends become something else, don't they? We got a bunch of liars, gaslighters, and bigots posing as if they mean well. And now that they got their guy in, they don't need you no more, black people. So go on, Blackie. That's how they going. Go on, Blackie. We got what we wanted. We got Trump in there. We don't care, Blackie. Election time's over, Blackie. We go back to being who we are. And their dumb conservative black friends that are sitting there stupid looking didn't get the memo. Now they want us who are independent, because that's what I am, an independent. They want us not to believe our lying eyes. They want us to not be able to hear so good. They're going to ignore it. You know what? I'm not going to ignore. I'm not going to ignore the Daily Wire scumbags. I'm not going to ignore the Steven Crowder lying-ass, bigoted, dog whistle blowing. I'm not going to ignore that. And up to this point, all we've got is the story from the father of the slain and the mother of the slain and his twin brother. And I'm not altogether sure how reliable that is, because only one of them was there. And I think all three would lie to suit their case. And for the record, you can't talk about being such a Christian, which is what Father Metcalf has been doing, and then also be talking about the death penalty in the same token. I mean, at least not in my book. Yeah, that's what I reported on last week. I read the New York Post that Anthony was a 4.0 student, no criminal record, and working 2 jobs. But that's not the scenario, and that's not the narrative that the conservatives that I've been, hey, look, guys, let me say, thank you, Anita Parker. Let me say this. I'm never talking about everybody. Of course, there are going to be people that surprise me. It's bad. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's bad what I've been seeing. These people have developed complete scenarios. They know everything about Karmelo Anthony's schooling. They're imagining how he is with friends. They imagine his track listing, his shoe size, with what kind of ice cream he like. I mean, these people have created, it's like, I have not seen such imaginations about Austin Metcalf from anybody, from anyone. Not from his supporters, and not from those that support Karmelo. And what I'm doing is I am going there. I'm going there because no one else is. And what I'm saying, and I'm using based on the information, what kind of how was a young man raised where it's raining, and instead of saying, hey, it's raining, he ain't bothering anybody, why do you feel like he has to leave now and leave? And when he says, I'm not going to get off me, leave me alone, why wasn't that enough? So I'm questioning how he was raised. Is there a rule we can't talk back to the whites? Because we talk back to each other all the time. Is there a rule? We got a lot of cowards who are unwilling to go up against the grieving father and say, hold on a second, how'd you raise your son? Because he's saying this, that's what he's saying about Karmelo Anthony's parents.
I'm not trying to judge, but what kind of parents did this child have? What was he taught? He brought a knife to a track meet, and he murdered my son by stabbing him in the heart.
How was he raised that he did this to my son? He murdered my son. Well, how was your son raised that he couldn't hear so well? See, no one's willing to say this, but if it was black on black, we'd be saying it. And what I'm saying is some of us are timid. We're too damn timid when it comes to talking to the white folks. It's 2025. If you ain't got a pair of balls when you can't talk to that guy and say, hold on a second, you're questioning his parents, let's question you. Because his parents weren't there. You weren't there. But based on some actions, you got some explaining to do. Because if your sons, why didn't the other son grab the other son and say, come on, man, it ain't worth it, leave him alone. See, there's all types of scenarios that are not being considered. And it takes somebody like Tim Black to say it, because it's been very quiet on the Western Front, sir. It's been very quiet on the Western Front. So let me at these cornball conservatives, the black conservative perspective, and the C.J. Pearsons, and I just name dropped a couple of them. The Officer Tatums, let me at them. The Candace Owens, let me at them, because I want to ask those types of basic questions. See, what they're going to do is they're going to, all of black people, all of black America, look how we are. Look how the blacks are. Look how the whites are. Look at them. So we can do this all day. And then we can stop gaslighting each other and get back to the point, which is what happened between these two young men. Once we get tired of, of creating narratives about race, we can get back to the point at hand. And we can say, hold on. I'm asking you very concrete questions. To Candace Owens, to Officer Tatum, to all the rest. Why didn't the twin brother tell the other brother, hey man, it ain't worth it, let's walk off? Why are we not even running? We're not even competing. We ain't on a track team. Why are we even over here? Why are you arguing with him about sitting there? Just all these bleachers. Why are we going to fight over a seat we didn't pay for? There's no assigned seating. And I'm not hearing that, so that bothers me. It has me feeling kind of certain kind of way about the sincerity and the ethics and integrity of the people that have been doing commentary on this, who have been critical of Karmelo Anthony, why they did not consider these things. Because, I wasn't there, but why am I able to ask questions that I'm not hearing others ask? That's right. Aaron says, if your son was Christian, that you claim he was, he would have moved over and said, sit here, man, we got you. But no, he greeted him with violence and hate. That got him killed in bullying. And you can kind of see, I look at the eyes of the father, and I know he's grieving. And I know viscerally, fundamentally, reality, tangibly, how that feels. But I see a deep anger behind his eyes. I don't see it the same way I'm seeing others categorize it. They see it as vulnerable and emotional, but I see something else brewing behind the eyes. I see something else brewing behind the father's eyes. And I love the opportunity to talk about it. What's her name? What's the one with the channel Laura Ingram. Yeah, I see something brewing behind the father's eyes, Laura Ingram. Besides tears, behind the tears, I see an anger and an outrage behind his eyes. And I wonder if his kids possess that same anger and outrage. The mother said something. The mother dropped breadcrumbs. I'm sorry to keep going, guys. I do have other content. Something the mother said about the son, the reason why the son wanted to go over and talk to Anthony, Karmelo Anthony. She said, my son was always the first to step up. To step up and do what, ma'am? You mean step up and tell the ninja to get away from us? Is that it? Because that's all he was doing, was sitting down under the tent, under the rain. Yeah, my son was always, that's how he was. He was always the first to step up. Yeah, step up and get violent, right? Step up and be violent, maybe? See, this is me being deductive. Respectfully. These are the things I was thinking that I didn't say last time we did a live stream. But after days of me seeing the unchecked masses of conservatives, both white and black, omit the obvious pushback and put two and two together. I mean, come on. So I had to go there, Johnson. Now, had it been Karmelo who was stabbed to Austin, who was under the tent, the same people saying Carmelo's guilty would say Karmelo shouldn't have approached Austin, and he defended himself. You're damn right they would say that. And that's why I can't stand. Now you got it. Exactly, to Tashi D, because I know damn well the black conservatives, the ones that are calling Karmelo Anthony all these names and saying how black culture needs to take a look at itself and we never hold ourselves accountable. I know damn well if it had been reversed, that they would be saying that they would exactly be defending. They would be defending Austin and saying, why did this person put their hands on Austin? Maybe he felt afraid. See, we start getting into very obvious terrain here, guys. It's very obvious terrain. We know what this is. They get to be afraid of us and act erratically and take our lives. The history of America is white people who always say they're afraid of black people and killing them. You know, it used to happen so much, even when black people were enslaved. They had to come up with a new law on the books for white women because white women accidentally kept killing their slaves. Accidentally, while they were correcting them. And now that we're free, some people didn't get the memo. So I'm worried about Karmelo Anthony's safety. That's what I'm worried about. And what's going on with him right now around some good old boys. I'm not hearing anyone talk about it. So I want to talk about it. Back to Tashi's comment. If it would have been the other way around, and a black kid was killed after the white kid asked him numerous times not to touch him, to keep his hands off of him, and if that white kid stabbed that black kid and ran one time, not 20 times, not 50 times and threw up gang signs, but stabbed him one time and ran, all the black conservatives that would be like, oh, well, you shouldn't have, why did he attack him? Why did he attack him? He shouldn't have attacked him. He scared him. And I know what it's like to be afraid. I'm afraid when I'm around black people too. I'm so afraid around black people. This is what they're saying. Black people are saying, I'm afraid around black people. No, you're afraid around poor people, dummy. If you ain't afraid around poor white people, that's because you don't be around any of them. You just only been around poor black people. If you ever been around poor white people, you'd be just afraid or you're stupid. They'll bury you out behind the barn, dummy. But see, we got black people who never been anywhere. I know white people that won't go certain places in white areas because they're scared to go there their damn selves. And we got dumb black people who never been anywhere. I'm talking about the Cartier family, for instance. And it's okay to be young and dumb. It's just unfortunate you have a mic and a platform, and you're talking to people who also don't know anything, or they wouldn't be co-signing what you're saying. I know white men who have their own businesses, so they have to deliver things. And there are areas where they don't like going that's white, because they're the type of white guys that talk like me. Hey, how you doing, man? What's going on? And where they're going is white guys that talk like, oh, what's going on? Hey, what the hell you doing around here? See, not all white people are the same, Goofy. But see, we have a problem. We have a problem. We got black people that get their idea of what white people are off television. It's Captain Avenger. You know what I'm saying? They see them all as Doogie Howser. And whenever there is an asshole white person, it's like Eddie Pascal from Leave It to Beaver. You know, annoying, but not a bad guy. Just annoying, kind of snarky. They don't realize that there are all kinds of white people. White people know there's all kinds of white people. I'm not here to condemn all of white America or all of black America. But what I'm seeing is a petri dish. A petri dish of a lot of animosity, hate, bias. It's just bad information. Yeah. The media uses cases like this to race bait into incite anger and hate. And it's really good for money. And it's not just, look, here's the thing, B1 first. Look, it's not just because they hit everybody. It is a very, it could be. But it's also so lucrative. It's so lucrative. It's like the Lakers playing the Celtics every day. You know? It's like the Lakers versus Celtics every day. And they just can keep it going. It's like the release of a new Avengers movie. A Marvel Universe movie that could come out every month. In a for-profit industry, which is our news industry. All right, I'm tripping. I'm going. It is what it is. Let me try to move on, right? Thank you, Black Mamba. You know the deal. Independent black media stays unapologetic, raw, and real. Now you can wear the movement. From the Tim Black Wolf Pack to the Cornbread Collection. We got gear for the real ones. For men, women, even the little ones. No weak threads, no weak messages. Rep the truth. Rep the movement. Hit up timblackpauls.com and grab yours today. Because cornbread ain't free. Wolfpack. Perfect. You made it to the end of the video. I appreciate you. Now, Google thinks this next video is going to be perfect for you. It's right up your alley. So click the next video, watch that with me, and let's keep this politics going. You're built for this.